Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here, once again with another manga chapter review with.
Mangareader here.
Hi guys, it's me, Luckychi.
Yes,
For
for the first time in months, I have got both Luckychi and Mangareader to discuss another My Hero Academia manga chapter review.
Yeah, somehow the Cursed Lord and Mangareader were able to get the Allspark, go to the ocean, and just resurrect me.
you're just an extra.
Damn.
Let's see, am I even regarded as traitor?
No,
Of course.
I'm just playing on the fact that that's what the name of the chapter is. Damn it.
But yeah,
I was gonna
yes.
say, I do ship Izuku and Suyu now. No. Obviously, I'm not. Because given,
Who? Huh? We still don't even know what those two are up to right now.
I know, right?
I was telling Blue in our last discussion, and it's like, oh yeah, we got everyone else's update somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Ochaku and Tsuya against Toga. We got no update on them.
Fitting avatars for this My Hero Academia stream, except for mine. But then again, I always keep Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I mean, given the show right now, makes sense.
Yeah, I gotta find some images of I guess My Hero Academia. But anyway,
images, they exist on the internet.
Yeah.
But I mean, find ones that I like for an avatar.
Are you saying you don't like our images? I find that insulting.
I didn't like yours. I just figured, okay, if you guys can use that one, I gotta use something different.
Mangareader is official. He hates our profile pics.
I know I failed somewhere.
No, they're both fine, very fitting.
I'll have you know, this was probably the first image I found typing in the damn name Deku or Zuku, whatever one I typed in.
Fair enough. But anyway,
so I'm not picky.
And the origin behind my profile pic, since we're going into it right now.
There's an origin now.
I like the fist bump scene, so that's why I picked it.
Fair enough. But anyway, let's see. It's been ages since Luckychi has last seen us. Let's see. And back then, I think on this channel, and I believe it was where well, granted, he's been on other things, but not My Hero. And the last time we discussed My Hero was pretty much with him was against Stars and Stripes. A lot of things have happened. The traitor revealed. The beginning of a new war arc, etc., etc. Now we're here. With the first battle just seemingly over, we're now entering what appears to be the next battle to be focused on. All for One versus Endeavor and Hawks, but let's see. But they've had the sudden arrival of Jiro and Todoroki. Yeah, it's Todoroki. Yeah, Dark Shadow.
Yep, Tokoyami.
Damn it.
I mean, you got it partially right. Say partially.
I'll be quiet, you extra.
Yeah, you extra. We're the extras in this this
is a
little posse.
Yep, we are. We know Blue hates. We know Blue hates our existence because he curses every series that comes his way.
I do not hate you.
I don't hate you.
But anyway,
I don't remember.
To quote Anakin, he brought us here to kill him.
So, before we begin, Luckychi, I'm just wondering, what do you make of all the events that have happened so far?
Okay, so the overall conclusion to the fight with my boy Shigaraki, I actually thought was pretty well handled, albeit a bit rushed, but well handled for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And then the UA Trader arc, it's interesting given the author comments that Koei left in the afterwards section of volume 34, which is, I don't know if you guys know this, But turns out there was a long-term plan for the whole traitor reveal, and then, well, things just happened behind the scenes.
Ah, so that's why it feels like it was ignored for such a long time then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess it goes to show you behind the scenes things that, let's see, behind the scenes can have major impacts on productions for manga.
Yep. And then the other thing, okay, I'll say this: the UA Trader arc. I'll go more in detail about this sometime in the future, but I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was decent for what it was. And this arc so far, put it lightly, it's been pretty fast paced. I'll say that.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, now let's see. Did you find the Dabi versus Shoto fight conclusion to be satisfying, or did you wanted more?
I feel like it could have gone on for a couple chapters. I felt like it was just a little too quick, in my opinion. Which, it's funny how I'm going to bring Koei back into this, but he has admitted that the pacing has been, well, rushed to a degree.
Okay. Well, anyway. Well, let's see whether or not, you will rush this fight. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, on to now the actual chapter. Chapter 355, Extras, or as I like to have done the subtitle, All for One versus the Extras. Alright.
Starring extras Luckychi and Mangareader.
At this point, Mangareader is like the co-host.
Yeah, I practically worked my way up through sheer reliability.
I'm pretty sure Mangareader would be equated to someone like Denki, probably.
Denki. Oh god.
But anyway, the chapter begins with like Endeavor falling down from his wound, and Mangareader is proven correct that no, his arm was not cut off last chapter.
Nah, nope. You know, it's just the fine print on there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they draw it like that, but you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, they really, very misleading last chapter here at Koei. But I suppose
I mean, it's not the first time it's happened, so.
I suppose some props for giving the week's discussion on that, but heck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With like Endeavor, let's see, as he's falling wounded, and let's see, he's thinking about his two sons. He's hoping they're both okay. Though, as he realizes that, he's not being himself and all that stuff. Let's see, as he realizes that his anger at All for One was misplaced, as he brought all this upon himself, everything, as his blood is starting to cover the grass. While we go back to Hawks with Tokoyami and Jiro against All for One. Let's see. With Hawks revealing that, Endeavor just barely managed to dodge All for One's attack just to keep his lungs safe and keep him breathing and all that stuff. With Hawks assuming that Endeavor's still alive, he ends up telling his student to try and stand down, but Tokoyami is having none of it. Let's see. As he thinks like he needs to help turn the tide in the stalemate between the powers and all that stuff, if you will. Well, granted, Hawks, thinks he has a point. He does think that he would probably have, Endeavor around, but he's a bit still worried that, and All for One will slaughter them, but he ends up saying that after thinking like, okay, I'm being pathetic here. So he ends up telling his student to help him out again here, with Tokoyami saying, of course. With All for One preparing to do another one of his arm quirk transformations. Deciding to end this quickly as he can't be too far away when his other half is like could be in danger. In other words, it's one of those what I would call Palpatine moments where like I sense Lord Vader is in danger. I think you'd love that reference, Luckychi.
No, I was just trying to think. I'm like, what do I want to say to that? That's why I was kind of stuck. I was like, I mean, you're not wrong. In that sense.
But yeah.
Well, just better hope Shigaragi's not burning. That's the only thing.
Yep. Anyway. All for One probably realizing that endeavors did not get finished off with the attack. Let's see. He realizes that, the hero's goal for this moment will try to buy him time for him to get back. So he's annoyed about how he's being handled by this new duo and all that stuff. So he decides to wipe out the weakest link, of course. And he decides that it's Jiro with using this sort of like quirk finger attack with like these sort of jaw-like creatures coming out of it to try and kill Jiro, but she manages to dodge by jumping off of Tokoyami, but is also saved by Hawks' feathers, also dragging her around and all that stuff. Let's see. With Hawks is also trying to attack, let's see, an All for One at the same time, trying to keep damaging the bit of the helmet where he's trying to create a weak spot and all that stuff. With him telling that Tokoyami to fly however he wants as he'll back him up. With Dark Shadow asking if, Jiro's okay. As Tokoyami says to aim for the mask. With her agreeing to, let's see. And interesting, and this is where we start to get a bit more of Jiro's inside thoughts about how she was ready to face anything. And thinks about how she can even see that last attack coming. And even thinking about how the malice that All for One has been unleashing here is nothing like she's ever felt before, making every hair in her head stand up and all that stuff. As she thinks about how Midoriya and Oyama have been dealing with this threat for so long by themselves, as she's starting to get an idea of what they're going through. With All for One even commenting that she's starting to tremble and calls her a poor girl in a mocking tone. As he mocks her, asking, did you think this was just like another lesson at school as he prepares another big attack? And insults her by calling her a deluded extra.
Hey, if you want to pour more salt on the wound, I think the fan translation was like, "You're not even the main character," or some shit like that. I was just like, wow, okay.
Well, it really depends on what insult you find more: main character, not a main character, or just the extra.
Beginning to think Koei had this weird fetish for human-based attacks.
That's what I was gonna say too. It really does seem like that. I'm just like, okay.
We'll get in more into that discussion after the fact, but it's just like, oh man.
Let's see. As he ends up thinking how Hawks, as he's All for One continues his attack, trying to damage the heroes, he comments about how Hawks' speed has been limited due to the lack of his feathers and all that stuff. Let's see. As he then starts to mock the children about how they've been paired with the big shots, yet thinking that they probably imagine themselves somehow special as a result of it. Of thinking that they have a chance of facing him, the Demon Lord. And from the looks of things, from the damage that we endured, it appears that maybe, now granted, I was fooled from like the last chapter, but it might be the same case here. But it might be that Jiro has lost one of her ears.
Uh-oh.
I don't think you're wrong on this one. In fact, that you're absolutely right on this one, because they show you on the image.
It does look like, that.
Well, no, they show you literally an image of the ear jack and the like maybe her whole ear didn't come out, but
some aspect of it did.
You definitely see the plug.
Yeah, the plug has definitely been torn off.
Yeah. That's weird that something that just based on that image alone, I don't know why it looks. I don't know why beams do this.
It's an anime thing though too, for being perfectly honest.
I know. Well, yeah, it's just like when Goku blasts Cell directly, all it takes off is basically his torso. How the hell do you freaking have your legs survive that?
That's what I questioned too. I'm like, all right, look, that attack was cool, but the after effects of it's like, hold on,
If
let's
it blasted off his top of his body, he ain't surviving the whole damn thing. It just ain't happening, guys.
No, it's not.
Well, I suppose it's much more. Well, I suppose surviving from an ear being blown off is probably much more believable than having your torso cut off or your arm cut
Oh
off.
yeah, no, I'm not saying that this is fine. It's just weird that a beam, all it does is essentially shred. Doesn't actually, vaporize.
You do actually see blood coming out too,
Yeah.
so yeah, the ear is definitely gone.
The only way I can think of that the laser beam makes sense is the same abilities as a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But a lot more messy. And again, Star Wars always tries to be a bit PG or PG-13 at best.
Unless you're Rogue One.
Probably, I guess. But but anyway, as All For One has mocked them for being a bunch of extras, Jiro ends up with storing back about how you want to talk about being strong, weak, or scared and all that stuff, thinking that she doesn't give a toss what All For One does, thinking about what Midoriya and Oyama goes through.
Mm-hmm.
He tells them that, to screw all that. With her problem is that he is the one who made her pals cry, as you get this big panel spread of her shouting with the sort of tears in her eyes and all that stuff about what All For One has done to her friends.
So, power of friendship?
As she releases her next attack, Heartbeat surround Legato.
I think it's Legato, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. As All For One thinks about how she's using Motive's word, deeds, abilities, and thinks about all he's seeing here is the stuff of weaklings, thinks that her attack is not nearly good enough, and declares her power to be very underwhelming. However, just as he's about to attack, something particularly strange that he's never really noticed happened activated as he's inside his mind. He's being surrounded by a bunch of, random extras, if you will. And he realizes that these are all the quirks that he's stolen in the past, and apparently the very wills of the users. One of them appears to be this sort of like a horned woman who's got a bit of a close-up. With him thinking that this is impossible, as not even New Order didn't manage to do this. And he sees one, and he's thinking that they've been spurred on by Jiro's power, which seems to be weakness. As she cries out, "Hawks!" Let's see. He says, "By the weakness of such pushovers," as her sound wave attack keeps going. Hawks go in for the blade, thinking about the first few times he's hit him at the same spot, trying to crack it, and now with his next attack, the sound wave vibration enchantment, as he declares that this will be enough cracks to bring any dam down. Let's see, continues to attack with using the move Flight Feather Blade, slicing All For One's mask, and finally his mask has cracked, ending the chapter. So, guys, what do you make of the chapter?
Huh.
Interesting. I'm gonna say that. It's just interesting.
I have to admit, it's very rare to have any shonen manga have one of the more side characters take on the big bad like this, I will admit.
Well, considering now that this version of All For One is kind of like...
It's lessened compared to his fight with All Might. That's the big thing.
I was just going to say that he's his own extra because Shigaraki is the new
head.
One.
Yeah.
The new All For One.
Mm-hmm.
So this is essentially just the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
It's just metaphorically speaking, it's kind of interesting that he's calling everyone else extras when he himself.
He's kind of acting himself as one too.
Yeah.
Perhaps he does not realize that he's become an extra now that Shigaraki.
I think he knows because it's just weird because we still don't really know. They're linked though at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So he shares whatever Shigaraki goes through.
Yep.
At least mind-wise. So even if this body dies, I guess he's still alive.
I mean, it's gonna be similar to the whole, the will of the One for All quirk too, where you've got like the vestiges and whatnot. So it's like he's gone, but he's not gone at the same time. It's gonna be very situational in that circumstance.
Yes, the bit of him that's inside his own quirk, inside Shigaraki, is going to try and take over the body, and if you will, become the next.
Deku's final power is going to be sealing away different aspects of life.
Well, we'll probably find out when he finally confronts Shigaraki, which will probably not be for a while. And all that stuff. But,
the only thing we need is 2 seals, and the seals being used to trap him away for all eternity.
I see what you did there. But anyway, I do like how Endeavor seems to just still showing care for his own sons, but realizing that he's letting All for One's words distract him and all that stuff when he should be really more, let's see, blame himself.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Granted, I assume that he will rejoin the fight, but at the moment he is incapacitated. So let's see, which turns the hero strategy of buying time for enough for until Endeavor's ready to join them again. I do like how both the All for One and the heroes have figured out that attack has not killed Endeavor.
Well, everyone knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Hux knew it because of vibrations. All for One knew, All for One knew just because the attack missed.
Yeah. But he might have, but you never know. Well, technically, it did actually damage Endeavor. It did actually hit him, but he realized it wasn't big enough.
Lethal.
Yeah, fatal enough.
A fatal blow.
Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. It is interesting to see All for One just regard everyone around him as extras, or at least the sidekicks from Class 1A, if you will.
I mean, you could call it breaking the fourth wall without breaking the fourth wall in that respect.
Mm-hmm. Partly because there is a common criticism that, the Class 1A students are a bit just more of extras.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways, I'd probably, to some extent, agree with that. But
I do feel like that more so spurred around the time when you had the Rise of the Villain saga going on, more so than anything.
In some ways, yes, the cast became a lot more tighter focused on, say, Midoriya, Bakugo, and Shoto at the Rise of the Villain saga compared to some of the other characters.
Yeah.
And it didn't always get their moment to shine, I will admit. But I still think Kohei has managed to, at the very least, handle it much better than some other shonen manga, say, the K11 or Ichigo's friends, if you will.
Yeah.
Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I don't remember. I don't know if Jiro is one of his favorites or not, but she seems to always have
some
prominent roles.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. She seems to have a sense of spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, her most known spotlight role has been the culture festival, really, which was more of a slice of life thing, really. So, she ended up being the lead singer in that. So, it's a bit surprising that she'd be the main focus in the fight, if you will, because she's never really been done that. In fact, her last major fight bit thing was being support with Bakugo in the team up against Class 1A against Class 1B.
Right.
So yeah, so it seems like she's gone from let's see, a friendly school battle to like, let's see, a battle to the fate of the world, if you will.
Right.
She'd be like, I'm gonna tell people why I'm better than Sue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all. Well, Sue doesn't do anything, and she's popular.
That's true.
She
Yeah.
does like she just appears. Sue's just on screen, and everyone loves her.
That's
I wonder
been,
if the
and that's been an apparent thing since the series started too.
I wonder if that's just the frog thing.
Probably. Frogs. No one hates frog. Well, I was gonna say if she was a turtle, she'd be even more popular.
Damn.
She were a turtle. Turtles. No one hates turtles. No one. Yeah, like I don't know. It just seems like Jiro's been appearing a lot, whether significance or not. It's just it feels like she's been appearing a whole lot.
Yeah, not to mention there's this sort of maybe subtle building sort of relationship between her and Denki, really, I guess you could say. Now, whether or not it actually becomes romantic, remains to be seen.
Kaminari. I'm surprised that, well, we'll see where that goes. See if he gets any.
I mean, he did have a bit of a spotlight in the last war, so it wouldn't be crazy.
I'm just going to see what his reaction to this might be.
Yeah.
After the fact.
Yeah, I bet he's definitely going to be concerned about the ear cut thing, which I have to admit, I was a bit surprised that Koei would do that. I mean, it's like, but then again, it seems Koei does, because, well, let's see, with loss of one of her ears, let's see, her power is pretty much like Aizawa has been halved since he lost one of his eyes.
Yeah, this seems to be a popular thing for Koei, just like making everyone lose some form of. In fact, again, it's just been like everyone's getting cybernetics now. Oh man, we're going into that whatever era.
Yeah, well, I guess when you're in the world
era.
Well, I guess when you're in the world where you have some form of, let's see, cybernetics in you, I guess cut off as many limbs as you want.
Right.
I mean, they do it all the time in Star Wars.
No, Deku's going to show up and heal everyone. That'll be another power that he somehow has.
Right when someone's about to die, on the last brink, and then one touch.
I can revive ears.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain after the fight with Stars and Stripes, hyper regeneration is now gone from the series.
I would hope so. I have no idea.
Don't doubt the power of shonen.
But yes, again, that whole human fetish thing that he seems to have this going on. I mean, it started with the teeth guy, and it's gotten ridiculously high level of detail into what is this human head face thing beam? What quirk is this?
I question it too, honestly.
Is this just the evolution bullshit that Shigaraki was talking about too?
It
If I had to guess, he might be doing a combination of quirks, and they've somehow created this giant laser beam thing.
It could be, but what the fuck's the face on there for, man?
I'm saying
What do we need a nose and eye on this thing?
I wish I knew.
Let's
No,
see.
it's just for coolness factor.
I know. Maybe he got inspired by a tailed beast bomb or something.
Maybe.
It could
But now
be
that I'm
Sparrow
thinking
too.
about it, oh, he can make an eye and nose for this face beam thing, but he can't make eyes for himself.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my regenerative ability finally healed, but my eyes were lost permanently because they healed too quickly.
But of course, like let's see. But yeah, it's a bit strange how Tokuyama doesn't really do much in this chapter except being like, let's see, Jiro's on fly glider thing, because Tokuyama is.
Well, he has nothing to do right now because again, this was all geared up for Jiro to break the mask. So
It's usually because usually Tokuyama is probably regarded as the fourth strongest in the UA class, besides Midoriya, Deku, and Bakugo. Heck, I even remember in the second movie, he's actually one of the characters that takes down one of the Ritzy psychic villains, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
feel
new
like you
one.
said Deku twice for some reason.
That's what I felt like. I heard two.
Okay, Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto. There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Deku. I mean, I know Deku's like twice the person he was once before, but I don't think
It was like, wait,
the math checks out for that.
Okay, that was a mistake on my part. Moving on.
That's a mistake. Moving on.
was it a mistake? Joe?
But yeah, Tokiyami really has nothing to do right now because if he's gonna fight, then he's got to put Jiro down.
Fair enough.
He can't
But
fight
yeah.
well. Can't
But
fight
yeah.
while flying, essentially, with Jiro on his back.
Fair enough. But yeah.
Dark Shadow is only capable of doing so much. Anyway.
I do like that he's progressing from from the flight ability he's learned from Hawks and all that stuff, and I do like the little conversation he has with him at the very least about how
I'm amazed Hawks can still fly.
I'm amazed by that too. Oh my god.
Well, it seems
like no wings.
It seems like he needs the very minimum of feathers to keep flying, but of course, as All for One points out, he is not as fast as he used to be.
That and yeah, he's got no feathers. So I'm curious if the feathers will eventually grow back. I mean, I know bird feathers do eventually grow back, but I don't know. This is a weird society where all these quirks are both amazing and horrifically weak at the same time.
That's ironically true. You bring it up like that.
Yeah, it's like,
and I don't mean like weak, but I mean like they've got like 10 times the weakness to them, supposedly.
Yeah.
What good are the superpowers if the weaknesses are amplified tenfold?
Let's see.
Oh, I have the ability to fly. Guess what? If your feathers burn off, you can't get them back.
But yeah. But I did like
how you lose a limb, so what? Can't.
But yeah, but I do like how All for One immediately decides that Jiro's the weakest and goes for her a bit. And during this fight, Jiro gets, she's fighting All for One, she finally starts to understand, how Midoriya and Oyama became how they were during their encounters with them and all that stuff.
Well, if I'm going to steal from the Viz Media comment section, apparently her powers essentially come from her ability to feel her heart, essentially. So supposedly, if these comments are to be even trusted at this point, I don't remember how her powers work. I just thought it was a stupid.
My guess is probably look at her wiki page to probably remember her powers.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Don't trust the comment section for anything. Let's do the Blue Star Saver power move. Check the wiki.
I don't always trust wikis, Ritzy, to be fair. Mostly when it comes to
I just laugh because it's always let's go to Wikipedia, guys, or the Heropedia.
That I could find my My Hero Academia data book and try and find Jiro's page so I can get a generalized
Heartbeat Surround Legato is I guess I don't know, is that a new finishing move for her or ultimate move? I don't know if it was. I know Heartbeat something was Soundwave or some crap was one of her.
I think this one itself is a new one, but let's see from what I can tell.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah.
How the hell is my battery dying so quickly now on my laptop?
I have no idea.
Not even running anything.
Well,
don't answer that.
Well, and just in case you're worried, make sure you plug in your charger.
Yeah, well, I will.
But anyway, I do like how she, of course, is like I said, Ritzy realized what Midoriya and Oyama had been going through after facing off one herself. But yeah,
this man's level of detail is just insane from where it started.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's pretty impressive.
Dude uses like lines for like everything. There's like no backgrounds that are like pure white.
Well, to be fair, that was always a common complaint when it came to Bleach.
Yeah, but in Bleach's defense, Kubo went really hard on the character designs as
He did.
went on.
Yep.
Those didn't need no backgrounds. Those character designs were like freaking like choice. But yeah, I mean, obviously Kohi's going a step and above and beyond that, because not only is he doing basically Bleach level artwork, but he's also adding backgrounds.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, I think they do definitely do a good job of conveying either the emotions the characters are doing or the movements of their actions. I'd say
It's almost pathetic if the anime can't come to terms with this. I mean, I understand animation frame by frame, you're gonna have some pretty bad frames, but yeah. Did he break the feather blade? Definitely looks like the feather blade broke. So
yeah.
So I know the whole time they've been trying to break the mask. I don't know I don't know how that makes them have a victory.
Well, from what I believe, from what we were discussing for the last chapters, due to the fact that All for One needs to be on life support, the mask appears to be
a life support system.
Yeah, it seems to be a more advanced version of that. So it's
kind of. I was going to say it's kind of reminiscent of Vader in that sense.
So they're thinking if they destroy it enough, let's see, they can kill him and all that stuff. I believe.
Are they going for the kill in this, or are they being? Well, I mean, this is a hero society that doesn't seem to shy away from putting someone down if they need to.
Let's see. I think All for One might be just one of those special circumstances where, like, okay, this guy is the biggest threat to hero society and Quark society as a whole.
We can't let him live.
Not to mention, he has already escaped prison once before.
This is true. But to be fair, they didn't anticipate what was going on with Shigaraki, so there's that.
Yeah, hands. I don't understand how that's like an evolutionary quirk that can't be stopped, but we'll eventually get back to that, and by the time we do, I'm pretty sure the hands will have covered most of the damn area.
You're right.
But yeah.
The worst part is the fact that they think that if they stop using Eraser's quirk, that somehow everything will just disappear because of the... Like, oh man, he's got freaking erase or whatever. Destruction? What is it? I don't remember Shigaraki's original quirk name.
Decay?
Decay, yeah.
Decay.
Yeah. Anyway, I definitely say for me the highlight is let's see Jiro just shouting at All for One that it's not her being afraid or weak that it has her emotional and angry at him. It's the fact that he's the one that's been causing her friends to suffer all this time, so she's going to try and take him down if she can.
Motives, words,
Power,
deeds, abilities.
friendship.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing here is the stuff of weaklings. Weaklings. You need someone else to help you. Someone else.
And my big highlight of the chapter is All for One calling them extras.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
And yet, it seems that somehow Jiro's ability has managed to awaken the extras within that have been trapped inside All for One, if you will. In many ways, I do like how it's kind of like a sort of like ghostly spirits. It's like a villain that has absorbed all their souls, if you will, and now the souls are fighting back.
You know, I was about to say, it's like, wait, I know Stars destroyed a good chunk of Shigaraki's quirks, but I'm wondering if it worked the same way on All for One.
Well, given the fact that the two are connected, I think that is the case. As he felt the pain that Shigaraki was feeling when New Order was tearing the quirks from within and all that stuff.
Right.
But from some reason, Jiro's supposedly weak quirk has managed to done something that not even New Order. by making the quirk's wills go back. But I think it's probably also the fact they've been inspired by her words as well.
If she's I guess she's something like microphone jack, whatever.
Earphone jack, I believe.
Earphone jack. Kind of like that. I mean, I guess it makes sense for her quirk to be like that since it is still sound based.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to be on the stealth side, though.
Yeah, but seeing her go off on the offensive, I think it's pretty good.
Well, she knew well, from what I remember, I think for her ultimate move, she knew she needed to get a little more offensive put into her.
Yeah.
Into her skill set, so she found a way to make her sound-based attacks kind of become an attack. Clearly, it wasn't necessarily a strong attack per se, but it did what it had to do.
It gave enough of an opening for Hawks to finally do his, final attempt at striking the mask and actually slicing a bit off of it.
Yeah. Well, it was the sound vibrations basically opening up the crack, which allowed Hawks to...
Yeah.
Somehow, Hawks has super precision to be able to strike the same spot 3 times. With a thin blade and a thin crack.
Well, he must have the eyes of a hawk as well.
That's my hidden quirk. I've trained my eyes. Even though one of his eyes looks to be bleeding.
For real.
Yep. Heck, either way. So, yeah. So, anyway, out of curiosity, so, let's see what happens next. Can you see this attack being what finishes off All for One?
Not entirely.
Pretty sure it's only slightly damaged, so we're going to need Endeavor to be back.
That's what I'm thinking. Definitely Endeavor's going to do something. Whether or not Endeavor makes it out of this, that is left to be determined, I'll say.
So you think someone's going to end up dying from this fight?
I mean, this is supposed to be the final arc of the story, so someone's got to not make it out.
War has casualties.
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, our last casualty was what? Just Midnight?
Yeah.
A bunch of no-names.
A bunch of no-names. That's true, though.
Yeah, those no-names are now about to face off against Red Riot and Pinky.
Oh, no, I'm talking about a bunch of no-name other deaths.
Outside the other minor heroes that you might have recognized as cameos from other arcs.
Very rarely would have names. Although, yes, I guess Midnight did die to a bunch of basically no-named losers, so...
Fair enough. Well, either way.
Pinky, Red Riot, and the rest of 1A and 1B.
Deku's still currently on the run, by the looks of things.
Deku's flying somewhere to Shigaraki's place.
Yep.
So, let's see. So, out of curiosity, so you think Endeavor's going to die, Luckychi, right?
Either he dies or he gets, heavily injured in this fight, I feel.
Can you see anyone else dying in this fight, or do you think the members of Class 1A are safe?
I think 1A is safe right now.
I mean, I'll say this, Chiro lost an ear. I don't know if that counts for something, but she lost an ear.
So, at best, you think that wound is going to be the biggest casualty in this fight for, the students of 1A? No deaths in a ticket.
Unless Tokoyami decides to step up and say, okay.
Fair enough.
I could see how Endeavor dies, but I don't know if it would actually happen. So
yeah, that's one thing too.
Fair enough.
There's a way to make it happen.
It's just all dependent on execution.
Yeah, we're going suicide bomber. But that would be kind of lame after just watching essentially the same thing just literally occur in the last fight.
Right?
Ah, yeah, Darby's so. Let's see. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Hey, you know what they say: if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. Try again. If it didn't work the first time, try again.
Fair enough. Let's see.
I know it's still last chapter that we'd be discussing at that point, but I'm curious now. I know, I guess that little spark in Dobby is supposed to be why he's alive, but I would hope it's only because he's alive and not some stupid. Oh wait, I'm
Plot
gonna break
convenient
free.
thing, yeah.
I'm gonna break free of this and start over again.
You mean like Kabuto?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. But yeah. So
Yeah, there's no. They definitely have to finish up this fight for sure. There's
Yeah.
no way in hell in the next if the next chapter is something unrelated to this fight that it would make any sense.
Yeah, and if we're going by volume standpoint, I'm estimating here, this should be the 5th chapter in the next
Okay.
one. I would say, yeah.
Volume. What volume are we on now?
I'm assuming 36 is done, so we're on 30. No, we're on 36. Yeah,
We're on volume 36.
yeah. 35's coming out in July, but I'm assuming 35 ends on chapter 350.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he loves his cover arts.
That's for sure.
So, I wonder.
Yeah.
Wait,
But
didn't we get a
anyway,
colored page not too long ago? Maybe that was for the volume cover.
That's true.
So
I don't remember what it was.
I believe it was the Shoto with like it was the
Was it? Oh yeah, that was like 2 chapters ago. Maybe that's going to be the cover image then.
It could be.
the Shonen color issues are never really
Never really covers.
no.
All right. Okay, then maybe
It's just Koei's way of paying
showing
tribute.
you what. Yeah. This was
Yeah.
what my mindset was.
I mean, I can see why you can get confused because get a bit confused by it because U.S. comic volumes tend to use one of the issue covers that happened in the comic books and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a Shonen Jump magazine in I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I haven't. Well, I do know how long. It's been since elementary school. You know, back when Naruto was still just Naruto, Bleach was just getting started, and One Piece was only in like essentially the crocodile arc.
Basically.
Like, oh my god.
A simpler time back then.
Simpler time. Now you got freaking Luffy bouncing all over the damn page.
Naruto is not exactly in its best state right now.
Oh, thank you, Boruto, for sucking ass. Anyway.
But yeah. So anyway, do you assume that this how many more chapters do you think this fight will last for?
Me, I will say 2 or 3. I'm gonna give it that much.
Are you a bit surprised that All for One seems to be the second bad guy to be taken out in this arc, if that ends up being the case?
Honestly, I'm not that surprised considering that we've been building up Shigaraki like crazy since he was defeated by All Might. So I wouldn't be super shocked if he's seemingly being dealt with.
Well, I'm just curious because this is like because let's see, All for One is kind of like the I'm going to use a One Piece reference here, like either Big Mom or Kaido for like a for the villains right now. Because let's see, Wano's just ended. Wano's just coming to the point of its ending and all that stuff. But it's like this is like one of the 2 Yonko level leaders and all that stuff. And let's see, having one of those 2 taken out so quickly would probably be a massive moral boost for the heroes. And a sort of like a panic thing for the villains, for like the villains' side. So it'll be very interesting to see if villains react to that. But who knows? It could be possible that Koei, just as like the fight is just looks like it's ending, he cuts to like another fight. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, All for One could, I guess, wimp out and teleport himself somewhere. I don't remember if he could do that though. I know his teleportation skills suck
But it
ass
should
compared
be-
to Kuroguri's, but
But yeah, because it is known that the plan is to keep All for One and Shigaraki as far away as they can from each other, because they'd be impossible to beat together.
right.
And as we know, the nature of shonen storytelling, the worst possible outcome happens before the good guys can beat it.
Right. If they beat All for One, then it's
Well, his credibility goes
basically
down.
setting up for an even worse outcome then, because there's
Mhm.
some sort of heavy casualties going to occur from that at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say, if we go on this war arc with no casualties at all, I'm gonna be like, something's up.
Something's up. Yeah, all our casualties were from the first time we tried to have some massive battle with the villains.
Right?
That's it. That's all we had. That's the only casualties. The one casualty will be just everyone losing their power. What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah. Reset. We're going for bomb reset. We're doing it. Deku's gonna just blink the universe out of existence and then reset it, and everyone's gonna be quirkless.
So in other words, it's going to do what a Ruby and Sapphire, Pokemon Adventures did with Celebi. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, reset the whole thing. Timelines.
Or I got an even worse one. We just go back on an infinite loop. So we just start back over to the first chapter.
Looping.
Mhm.
Kern Lagan style.
I wouldn't be surprised for Ruby and Sapphire. That was probably sort of done is because there'd be future Pokemon games where those characters would reappear that supposedly died. So that was probably the reason why it was done for that. But here, My Hero Academia would have no excuse.
They decided to use Celebi in a Ruby and Sapphire arc when Celebi was never available in Ruby and Sapphire series.
For real.
Yeah.
Well, you could get it through the Japanese Pokemon Coliseum, but
Yeah, you could do that.
the Japanese version only. In
Only the
America, we
Japanese
got a
version.
really pain in the ass way to get Jirachi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Which
Painful.
was still Coliseum, but
yeah,
to insert the disc.
I suppose that Pokemon Channels one where you have Pikachu and you watch Pokemon TV and all that stuff.
No, Jirachi did appear in that though.
He did.
Uh-huh. But anyway, let's see what else there's left to talk about.
It wasn't until we finally got Wi-Fi events in Diamond and Pearl where events finally started like becoming more
easier to do.
Yeah, more likely. It was like, oh shit, now I don't have to go to freaking Toys. Well, no, you still had to do Toys R Us for some freaking reason. I had to get Reggie Gigas during the.
I did too. What the hell?
Well, yeah, everyone did. You didn't have to, but
it was something
you weren't going to get it then for
Yeah.
the Platinum event, which was for the Giratina movie.
So rigged. It was fun, but it was rigged.
Rigged. Yeah. So yeah, Black and White was where every event was finally made through the internet.
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, let's see. Anything else you wish to discuss about this chapter, then, or predictions, or wise, or if you've gotten everything you want to say?
I feel like we've discussed everything, at least up until now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did I give my 2 cents on how long I thought? Did I say 5 chapters?
I think you said 5 chapters. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say 5 chapters. That's how long I think this fight could still go on for.
So probably so until like
which would be appropriate because I don't think they should just immediately beat All for One.
No, he's like a boss level villain, pretty much.
So yeah. I remember what I was going to say. If they beat him, I bet that's how Shigaraki awakens 100%.
Oh, for sure.
Fair enough. So you're thinking what the heroes initially think is that okay, we need to take out one before the other in order to win the fight, but instead that actually increases the villain's power.
Yeah, then Shigaraki somehow has the ability to transfer shit to everyone that's still on the battlefield and make everything far more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Somehow Shigaraki can transfer powers through sheer thought of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm just making all this crap up, but you know, some one of these things is actually going to somehow be true because Koei is just like that.
He does that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make this as difficult as possible for the heroes.
Seriously.
So, overall, it's that. Let's see. So, I think that said. Is there anything else that you wish to say, or?
Overall, I give this chapter meh. No, I'm joking. It's not
You
meh.
give it a meh out of meh.
No, it's not that. Oh,
Meh out of eh.
no, it's not that. I would say, generally speaking, just for this chapter alone, it's about good plus. It's a good plus chapter.
It's a plus chapter.
Good plus.
Man, you have been gone for a while. We don't do plus minus plus plus here.
Uh,
Uh,
I mean, plus ultra, right?
Yeah, it's probably a 9 for me.
Same here. It's like, let's see, it's not often you get to see a character like Jiro take the spotlight, but she managed to do it quite well, and I think she managed to do it in a believable way and all that stuff. I
Believable.
think conveyed a lot of probably what Class 1As probably have for emotions.
Riding on the seat of his pants is more like it.
Tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I can awaken quirks deep within.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have reincarnations of quirks.
Quirk creating. Well, I mean, we do have that sort of.
Sort of.
That's what all one for all or all. Yeah, all, yeah. No,
Yeah,
no, no. I was right the first time. One for all. I hate when I always do that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
All for-
remember it's
All for
Hey.
one and one for all.
yeah. Why was this the decision making, man? One for all sounds like sounds like the episode all for one because it's like, you know, all for one gives out powers and one for all actually stores all of them. So it's only one person, man.
Koei has to make this super complicated too.
It's not A O L. No,
For real.
all out of luck.
But yeah, a very good chapter. Let's see. Anyway, Mangareader and Luckychi, thank you for joining me to discuss this week's My Hero Academia chapter. And it's nice to actually have a trio of us. And also lucky for, let's see, I'll probably see you, either one or two of you in about a week or so, because let's see, this week My Hero Academia is on a break.
Oh,
So,
he's on a break. Oh, great.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? They just had a break.
We gotta take more breaks. We gotta pull a Oda.
Yeah, that I wasn't kidding. Koda's literally riding by the seat of his pants. I have no idea how to do this. Give me strength.
who knows?
He's probably thinking, how did Kishi get through all of this?
He wrote through sheer stupidity. Oh, Madara. How do you beat him? I don't know.
I remember that. Like, do you have a plan to take on Madara? Maybe. I maybe
don't
have
know
an idea.
yet.
What
Maybe.
first seemed to be a clever joke of saying, I'm not telling you, seemed to be the case.
Yeah, better off just saying, you know what, I'm not going to give you anything.
Mhm.
Oh, wait,
No.
I actually have no idea.
But at the very least, it seems Koei knows how he's going to take out at least Shigaraki and All for One from what we've seen from at least All for One from this chapter. But
We got a plan, man. We got a plan.
You know what's? I laugh so hard if he comes out in an interview and says, "Yeah, I didn't have a strong idea of how I wanted All for One to be taken out, so that's why this happened."
That's why I picked 2 random characters from my hat.
who knows whether or not we'll get any more random characters to join the fray or not? We'll just have to wait and see. But yes, but for the moment, we're enjoying it. We'll just have to
You know what will make this even more random? We bring in Ojiro.
Ojiro.
I'm pretty certain Ojiro is fighting in one of the other battles from what we've seen in the second to last chapter from this one.
Or Mineta. God knows. We need
But I believe Mineta's also in that battlefield.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you really have been behind on our reviews, Luckychi.
That's okay.
I haven't been reading.
But thank you for joining me. I am Blue Star Saber.
Yeah, I'm Mangareader.
And I'm Luckychi, about to go after the Cursed Child. Oh, I'm sorry, Cursed Lord. Cursed Lord.
Ah, thank you, traitor. Or should I say extra?
The extras.
It's better than being cursed.
It's
at
better than
least-
being
Or at
cursed.
least I'll get noticed.
I'll get noticed.
For the wrong reasons.
Noticeable, man. That's some pretty noticeable shenanigans.
And with that, in that case, we are now signing off. Thank you for joining us. And if you've watched this even for a little bit, I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye, everyone. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
And goodbye.